Hello, Wednesday. We're going to talk about possessions today. It is a subject that I've never devoted a whole Wednesday YouTube. I guess what I've always been afraid of is that as soon as people hear some of the symptoms, they're going to think that they are possessed. And it is so far and few between that I basically didn't want to open that can of worms. So listen to this carefully, because a lot of the things that happen to somebody that's possessed can happen just because they have an earthbound spirit around them also. So it's got to be determined. This article appeared in the Cleveland Plain Dealer on Thursday, September 6th, 2001. This floored me when I read it. Archbishop says exorcism performed on Mother Teresa to help her sleep. Calcutta, India. Mother Teresa had an exorcism performed on her while hospitalized in 1997. The Archbishop of Calcutta said yesterday. The disclosure by Archbishop Henry D'Souza came on the 4th anniversary of the renowned caregiver's death. He said exorcism took place in a hospital where the nun was admitted because of heart trouble before her death on September 5th, 1997, at the age of 87. The doctor treating Mother Teresa reported that she was having trouble sleeping. There was no medical reason for that, the Archbishop said. It struck me that there could be some evil spirit which was trying to disturb her. See why I'm afraid that now anybody that can't sleep at night is going to think they're possessed? Okay. The definition of a possession, according to the Encyclopedic Psychic Dictionary, to hold occupancy, either with or without rights of ownership. It is usually a low-grade etheric world earthbound entity that invades the living person's body. This definition goes into a lot more detail, not necessary for this YouTube. The rest of what a possession is, in my experience, and what I've observed over the years, and again, this is my opinion, and this is what I have observed over the past 45, 50 years. A possession shares the body with your spirit. In other words, there are two spirits in one body. I have never seen more than one possession in a person at the same time. A person comes in, an earthbound entity come in, and there are some people that practice the dead arts. They will ask an earthbound spirit to come in, inviting them in for a number of reasons. A couple of them, they want more power, more knowledge. This is usually done for control, riches. It can be done with spells, incantations. It can be done in a coven setting. There's all kinds of ways that you can invoke this to find an earthbound spirit that would want to help you in your endeavors. But keep in mind, they are going to be not from the light. These are not good people. But everyone who practices any kind of metaphysical choices can get knowledge on how to do this. Because of computers, I see this going on. I have seen this going on for approximately 10 years. And I think that is why there are so many now, because there is knowledge on how to do this. If I did one or two a year back when, now there can be 2 to 4 a month. So it's a problem. The entity that was invited in on purpose does not show their personality to the person that this is happening to. The person that this is happening to just gains the information from that entity. Keep in mind, entities could also influence you to do things you wouldn't have ever thought of doing on your own. When this entity is invited in, there is no way that you would know what negative or heinous things that this entity did when he was alive, or she. In a couple cases like this, when someone says, the devil made me do it, maybe they did. A downside, this entity has to be removed by a live person. Just because you invited it in, you cannot request it to leave. It has to be done by somebody. And they have a human body now, and why would they want to leave? So it's very difficult to get rid of an earthbound spirit that is in somebody that requested them to come in. Over the years, I have done this kind of exorcism, not realizing how this happened. I would get an injury during the procedure. Not anymore. I refer them to a religious person, example, a priest, a minister. They have more religious clout than I have, and do head spin, and foreign languages come flowing out of their mouth, and do they spew vomit everywhere, and floating in the air, and does temperature change, and freezing to hot, puking up green slime. No, no, no. I have never seen that. And I really, truly believe that The Exorcism, the movie, I think that was entertainment. I don't, to some people anyway, but I've never seen that. I've learned never to say never, so maybe that can happen, but I personally have never seen it. In the last 50 maybe years, 4 people have had this type of possession. The kind of possession I see on a more regular basis is the kind I'm going to describe now. These are regular people that died and did not cross over. Now, if there's a ghost that was hanging around you for a long time, or it was like your ghost attached to you, if the opportunity presents itself, that spirit may want to invade your body. And there's different ways that this could happen. The most common way is a person is under anesthesia for a medical procedure, including dental, and an earthbound spirit will enter the body when you are totally out, unconscious after a car accident, laying on the street, totally out. You have an addiction to alcohol or to drugs, and you're out cold from either drinking too much or an overdose. That gives somebody an opportunity to crawl in. Most of these possessions, the earthbound spirit was hanging around you anyway. They liked you, and they liked you, your job, your life, who you loved. Whatever the reason, if the opportunity was there, they took it. The main reason they do this is they want a body. Theirs is gone. It's dead. And again, regular earthbound spirits don't cross over. They're the ones that can walk in. With a body, they can't eat, sleep, talk. But without a body, they can't eat, sleep, talk to people, love people, do anything. So everything that your body can provide for them, they're going to use. Now, this entity is enjoying everything because of your body. Keep in mind, your spirit is still in your body. Your own personal spirit did not leave. So a lot of times, ideas that you get could be from a possession. You are not understanding why all of a sudden you're doing something you're not comfortable with. If a spirit that possesses someone was very sexual when alive, and they certainly want that to happen now that they've got a body, and they're going to push in that direction if that's what it is. But maybe they were huge eaters when they were alive. They're going to, all of a sudden, you're going to want to start eating or traveling or only wearing red. They can make you do the stupidest things. Some people are afraid to sleep. Oh, or they will affect parts of your body from the inside. In other words, itching all over your body, legs and arms falling asleep for no apparent reason. Some people are afraid to sleep because they can get all kinds of feelings from somebody that is possessing them. The interesting thing is, men usually get women in their bodies, and women usually get an earthbound male in their bodies. It's sort of interesting if you think about it. But they do not do bad things. They are not a demon. Again, let's face it, everybody that's alive has done some bad things. We've all been able to confess something to the priest in confession. So, and these are things they're going to push the limit on. These I can remove. It's time consuming, but it can be done. I can tell you who they are, when they came into you, how it happened, why. Unfortunately, once an earthbound spirit has been removed, there can be a lot of damage that was done to your physical body. If you had a possession for only a few months, maybe not so much, but anything over a year, some people have had possessions for 12, 15, 27 years was the longest one I know of. Most people talk of an electric current that seems to be running through them. Their nervous system is out of whack, PTSD. You know, the earthbound or the possession is gone, but it's flashbacks. They can remember exactly how it is and what happened. The symptoms ease up in some people. If someone has had a possession for years, it's way harder to get your health back to normal, if ever. If under 2 years that you've had a possession, it's easier, but it's still never 100% back. Someone that can do this removal cannot fix your physical body, and that includes me, but at least you are the only one left in your body. Some people are diagnosed with a split personality, mental dysfunctions, anxiety attacks, severe depression. And it's very hard for a person who is possessed or one that has been exorcised trying to explain this to a medical doctor or a psychiatrist. How do you tell them the feelings that are going on that are so real to you that you know it's not in your mind? People under 50 years old seem to bounce back better more than people over 50. I don't know. Maybe the younger you are, your body heals faster or repairs itself. You still have very strong flashbacks, but it's way better with the entity out. One person started having eye tics or excessive blinking when he became possessed, and he was possessed for 12 years. That never went away. His body got used to the eye tics and the blinking all the time. He kept that. Another man that I did had started limping after about a year that he was possessed. For no apparent reason, he started this limping. After the exorcism, he still limped. His possession had been in him for 4 years. A lot of people have sexual nerve type feelings after possessions, still flashbacks. You did nothing wrong to get this type of possession. Who knows why you were one of the unlucky ones? The only protection I can offer is to wear your quincy charm. When you have your quincy charm on, a regular earthbound spirit cannot get closer than 3.5 or 4 feet. So if it turns out that you are unconscious for some reason, it can't get in you. That is truly the only form of protection that I know. And with them not being able to get close to you, you should never, ever, ever get a possession. Next week, I'm going to be talking about walk-ins. And people think a walk-in is a possession, and it is something totally different. Totally, totally different. But it is a spirit in your body, but for a different reason. So I didn't want to continue with this and let this sink in. And then next week we will talk about the walk-ins. Okay, thanks very much. And I hope that this puts at least some of you on alert that this could happen. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.